Garrett Smith with an explanation of the lockable bike rack. The lockable bike rack works like a normal bike rack in many regards, in that you would see it in the position, in the place where you see a normal bike rack, like on the street, in front of the gym, the park, in front of the grocery store, etc. The difference with the lockable bike rack is that the bicyclist can lock their bike using the bike rack locking mechanism, which is built in to the bike rack itself. This is accomplished by the user going up to the bike rack, putting their wheel in the locking mechanism, locking that mechanism. They put the wheel in, they take the chain, which is part of that mechanism, wrap it through the frame and the other wheels, and then put that end of the chain, which is not attached, through the smaller of the two U-locks, close both of the U-locks, enter in their combination, activate the lock. When the user wants to unlock their bicycle, they simply re-enter the code that they had entered the first time and push the button to unlock and release the lock, and then take the chain out of their bike and get their bike back. This has many benefits. Number one is that it reduces the perceived need for the false sense of security that is provided by a normal bicycle lock. The normal bicycle lock, such as this ABIS lock, my lock, is often sold as a high security device to prevent theft. This is not true. It is actually just an expensive lock. That lock cost $100. The thief got through it in a matter of minutes using an angle grinder in broad daylight with pedestrians and public around, onlookers who said nothing and did absolutely nothing at all, while this thief was able to cut through the lock in broad daylight and walk away, or probably ride away, with my bicycle. Very common in San Francisco. The benefits of the lockable bike rack is the user doesn't have to carry around these locks. As you can see, that one bike lock is not enough. Many users will like to carry around a couple of U-locks or two U-locks plus a chain. That can become very heavy and very costly, where one of these U-locks costs $100, two is going to cost $200, two U-locks plus a chain is going to cost $300. Now, it is unreasonable to expect a normal person to buy $300 of heavy locking mechanisms and then carry those around with them all the time when they're riding their bike. It is extremely inconvenient, and it is very discouraging to anybody who wants to ride a bike, because it is so heavy and uncomfortable that it makes you want to not just take your bike out. So, the lockable bike rack provides all of that for you built in to the rack itself, thereby reducing and saving the user $300, and that $300 which the user would have spent is now in a device which can be used by many more individuals and shared with a community of cyclists who will lock their bike and then take their bike out, and then somebody else will come along and use the very same lock but with a different combination code. This reduces waste and reduces the production of locks, which are somewhat ineffective and then eventually cut, like mine was. The second benefit is that, probably a greater benefit, is that it really reduces crime. It not only reduces the theft of bicycles, but it reduces all the related crimes that go along with that. Those crimes include often drugs and the exchange of other stolen goods. Thank you for watching the description of the invention of the lockable bike rack. This is Garrett Smith.